We're talking about unbending intent. We're not talking about wishes. We're not talking about hope. We're talking about the warrior's intent. And naturally, when you hear these words, if you're familiar with Carlos Castaneda and his adventures with, or not with, but his adventures with Don Juan Matus, and the encoding in his books, if you're thinking about that, then naturally you're thinking about the beginning of the New Age movement, I guess you might say, before they knew what the New Age movement was. And the grandfather, of course, Carlos Castaneda. But in 1913, and this also relates to the law of attraction. It relates to the very popular book and movie, The Secret, and many, 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 many other things that have manifested over and over and over in different words. But in 1913, there was an author who, without any research whatsoever, wrote a book called Thinking and Destiny. Henry Waldwin Percival, I believe, and I'll look that up. But from the outset, he made these statements. From opening up in the book early on, he says the universe is guided according to a purpose and a plan. This would be the emanations of the eagle. There's a simple law by which the purpose is accomplished, according to which plan is carried out. The law is universal. He says it reaches all entities without exception. This is the law. Everything existing on the physical plane, according to, it was Harold Waldwin Percival, writing in 1913. Everything existing on the physical plane is an exteriorization of a thought. Which must be balanced through the one who issued the thought, and in accordance with that one's responsibility at the conclusion of the time, condition, and place. This law of thought is destiny. And now we're in 2008. And we're being told that our destinies come from our thoughts. Well, I believe this, but I want to look at how this is tied into the word intent, and where this word comes from, and where this mood comes from. I'm not going to call it anything other than a mood. I think those of you who practice martial arts know when you perform your kata, you're not doing mere techniques, but in the Asiatic countries, you're doing hand mudra sometimes. All of these things that you're doing is creating mood. So you're rooting yourself to a mood of a warrior. That's what's needed sometimes to push you through. A physical technique, a mental technique, psychological technique. You need to ground yourself firmly based in the mood and intent of a warrior. The law of thought includes, according to Percival, all that is in these terms, but it means more than all of them. It means essentially that thinking is the basic factor in shaping human destiny. Now, this has been put in new packaging. This is the crux of what I want to be talking about, from one shamanic origination from Nepal to the Brujo in Mexico, and everywhere, every culture where these things manifest themselves, how they're spoken of and how they're tied to unbending intent and the things that can be done with the mindset of unbending intent. Thank you.